Welcome to Rock the Classroom. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Michelle Adrian. I'm the Digital Integration Specialist for Storm Grove, Gifford, IRA, Citrus, and Osceola. And we are going to be doing a Rock the Classroom training today that is going to go over 6 applications that can help increase student engagement in your classroom. We also have Sally Brown here. Sally, if you want to turn on your camera or at least just say hello, she'll be moderating the questions in the chat. And I believe Carrie Wall is here also. So thank you to you guys for joining us. Hey, Sally. So that was quick. So for most of you guys have come to these trainings before, but you should have your microphones muted and your cameras off. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat. Sally will address them in the chat, and Carrie will address them in the chat. And if they need me to stop and go over something, then they can stop me. But please keep your microphones muted, because if everybody has their microphone on, there's just way too much noise. So go ahead and ask questions in the chat. If you're not sure how to get to the chat, you just hover in the middle of your screen and click on the conversation button, and the chat will pop up on the side. So what we are going to do today, before we even get started, if you go into the digital teacher resources, you will see a back to school icon. So some of you have the digital teacher resources right within your Canvas, and some of you might have to go through your class link. So if you click on your class link, your digital teacher resources icon is right here, or some of you have it right in your, right within your Canvas. So when you click on that, you'll get to your digital teacher resources, and you'll click on back to school.
Michelle?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm only seeing you. I'm not sure if they can see your screen.
I might have forgotten to share my screen. Sorry. Thank you. So, sorry about that. So when you click on Digital Teacher Resources, you will click on Back to School. And when you click on Back to School, here you have in gray, you've got all of our past trainings that we have done. So if there's something that you missed and you want to go back to, the video link is right there for you. And then here we have today's training, Rock the Classroom. This is the meeting link. So any of the future trainings that you want to go to, the Teams meeting link is right in here. You can go through Frontline to get to them, but you can also come right here and click right on the meeting link. The attendance is right here, and Sally or Carrie, if you can go ahead and stick that attendance link in the chat, they're going to stick that attendance link right there. Click on that attendance link, because even if you signed up in Frontline, this is how we make sure that you attended. So please go ahead and sign in on that attendance link, and then later we'll add the feedback link in there. So this is where we're going to go today. So you can go ahead and click on that Rock the Classroom 1 student engagement. We're going to click on that. And these are the apps that we are going to look at today. And before we even get started, what I want to tell you is that we are going to look at these. We're going to start off looking at them from the student view, so how your students would see them in your classroom. And then we're going to flip over and take a look at the teacher view. Now you can see we're going to take 2 hours and look at 6 applications. We can't possibly go in, make teacher accounts, show you how to do completely each one of these applications in 2 hours. So the purpose of this is to show you how they work on the student side, show you where to go to create the teacher accounts, and give you the tools that you need to create the teacher accounts and create them from the teacher side. None of them are very difficult to use on the teacher side, so we give you the tools that you need to create them on the teacher side, but we are not going to be creating them today from the teacher side. We're going to give you the tools that you need to do that, but we're not going to do that today, because we honestly could take a full hour, probably at least, if we were going to do that on each one of these apps. So we're going to take the time. We're going to have some fun this afternoon. That's why we scheduled this on a Friday afternoon, because we're going to have some fun. We're going to play some games. And then you're going to see how your students would see it, so you can see how it can be fun and engaging for your students. And then you can come back, and all of these links, which we're going to go to in a few minutes, these links will tell you how to create those as a teacher. So we're going to start off looking at Mentimeter. And Mentimeter is a interactive presentation tool. So we're going to just start off by doing one. So this one is actually created I embedded it right into our Canvas, which you can do. So what you guys are going to do within this, you can either use a separate window within your computer, or you can even use your phone. So I want you to go to menti.com. So you can just click on another tab over here. Just click on the plus sign and type in menti.com. Or you can do it on your phone. And the cool thing about doing it on your phone on the next one is that you can even just use the next one has a QR code reader. But I want you to go to menti.com and use the code 7901188. And I want you to tell me, what digital tools are you currently using to engage your students? So go ahead and do that right now. Open a new tab. So just click on that plus sign on the side and type in what digital tools you are using for your students. Go ahead and do that now. And if you don't, oh, sorry, I turned it off. The code is right up at the top. I scrolled down a little bit too far. And you can see, as you're doing this, this word cloud is refreshing. So I can even click refresh a little bit. And as you are putting your answers in, my word cloud is changing. And you can see too that Padlet and Canvas are the biggest two words. So that means that more than one or two of you have put in the words Padlet and Canvas. Canvas is now getting to be our biggest word. So when your students put in one or two words more than once, that means the biggest word has been put in more than once. So this particular activity is really great to get kind of a gauging or a temperature check of what your students know. You could use this kind of as a gauging of what your students know, what they want to know, kind of a KWL thing. And you can see, so some of you guys, NASA, Mars, I think I know what teacher's using that. So we've got Wiser, we've got Spotify, cool. All right, so just computers, connected, all of these different things that students are using. The one other nice thing that this has is it has a profanity checker. So if students put in profane words, it will not put them up there. So this is just one part of Mentimeter. There's several other parts of Mentimeter. It's actually a business tool intended for businesses. But so here, and you can see as you guys are putting more answers in, our word cloud is changing. So it's perfectly live. It changes as your students are going. So this could be great as a tool with your, if you are doing transitional or if you're live in the classroom. So you can use it live in the classroom or transitional, either one. All right, so this is one of the tools with Mentimeter. So I'm just going to click on the next one. And let's just get an idea of what kind of people we have in this training here today. And here's another example of the way that you could use this. If you were using your phone right now, there's a QR code. You could have people just with a QR code. If you had in the real world before COVID, you could have this with parents in your room to fill out a form. You could just put a QR code and they could just, take it with their phone and then fill out a form or something. So here's another one. Use the code 97662 and then tell me what grades you're teaching. So go ahead and do that now. It's the same, menti.com. So you can go to that same thing, just refresh it, and then put in a different code. It's, oh, sorry, the code is 8563062. So go ahead and put that code in here, not in the chat, but go ahead and put in that code, and it will come up on the graph. So you can see our graph is changing live as you guys are answering the questions. So I embedded this within Canvas, but I also have this in a tab. So if you didn't embed it within Canvas, I also can just put it in a tab and click present, and it's just a full screen here too. So you can do it either way. You can have it embedded within Canvas, or you can just use it as a basic website. So I have this now. It's just a full screen website. It shows me down here I have 26 people that have answered. Now I have 29. It looks like most of my people that are here are middle school teachers. So we've got we have 18 middle school teachers here, 7 elementary, 4 high school, and 1 other. So we have 20, and this is another way that you can tell, has my whole class answered. I'm over here. If I have 15 kids and only 12 of them have answered, I can say, okay, I've got 3 students that have not answered so far. I look over here, I've got 30, 40 some people and so I know not everybody has answered, but that's okay. We don't all need to answer this right now. But that's a way that you can use this program too. That's 2 different ways that you can use Mentimeter. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Mentimeter does. So this is what Mentimeter is. And all of these programs I'm showing you today are free. They all have, most of them, have a free option and a paid option, like most programs do. The free option, you can have, usually a few questions, always. The paid option is better. They have fuller, more things that you can do with it, more everything. But a lot of times, the free option's fine. Most of the things that you can do, you can have, there's a lot more options on the paid option, but the free option is fine. So you can have, right here is Mentimeter. When you just go in and create your own free account, and then you've got my presentations here. So I can, looks like I just would add a new presentation, and I would call it training. And here's the different types of things that I can do here. I can have a multiple choice. I can have a word cloud. This multiple choice is what I gave you guys today. You got to choose from a choice of things. So then that showed me what it was. The option 1, option 2, option 3, whatever. Multiple choice. The word cloud was the first one that we did, and we got lots of different exciting different things. And open-ended questions, and then everything pops up on the screen. That's kind of similar to Padlet. Scales is going to show you a rating, and then rankings, how would you rank these things? These things would kind of be, I think, a little bit more like business, and then you have specific opinion questions, and then this would be more like a quiz, and then type the answers in. So this would be more like a quiz here. And then these are more like presentations, like content slides. And then there's some more advanced questions down here, like plot grids and all those sorts of things. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. And I will tell you, I am not an expert on this. The ones that I have used the most are the multiple choice and the word clouds. Those are the ones that I've used. The word cloud is really, really cool. So, and the way that you put, as we showed you guys in the Rich Content Editor, once you have your presentation ready, you would just click Share, and then it gives you presentation sharing. You've got here an embed code. Remember, anything that has an embed code, you can copy that embed code, and then you can put it right into your page in Canvas. All right. Now, when we go back to here, into your Canvas, into this presentation for today, if we click the next button, so each app that I have given you guys today has one of these pages. It has a what is it, it has the app name, what is it, the purpose, it has a video and a cheat sheet. Most of them have a cheat sheet, and then some of them have more. That's going to give you some more interesting, like some articles or some other things on it. So how I said that we're not going to take the time for you guys to create the activities today. If we have some time at the end, we might give you some time to create, but we're not going to create the activities right now. This will give you this place where it gives you a direction. This is a link to the website. So here is that link to that website. And then you've got the cheat sheet, and then you've got a video, and you've got all of that fun stuff that will tell you how to get to everything. So just to make sure that when you decide, oh, that's a program that I want to use, you can just come back to this page, and it's going to give you all of the information that you need. All right, so do we have any questions about Mentimeter before we go on to the next one?
So far, so good.
All right, so I am going to click on Next. All right, so Quizlet. And again, just like I told you guys before, we're going to play the game as a student, and then I am going to show you the teacher side. So go ahead and give me a quick thumbs up in the chat if you guys have ever played Quizlet live before. All right, good. A few of you. Good. I know I've seen it done in your classroom before, Barb. Now, one thing that they have changed for COVID, the learning, is that they do have an individual option now. They have Quizlet Live as an individual option so that you don't have to play as teams. So I have, let's see, I have my, now we didn't want to get too academic today, so we're going to play a game as on movie quotes. So Quizlet, if you guys haven't used Quizlet before, Quizlet is pretty much a vocabulary app where you can find a vocabulary set on just about anything in the world that you could find. So I'm going to click, I find the set that I want. We're going to play movie quotes today because we don't want to have to, well, you might have to think, I don't know. So I'm going to click live to do that. This is the teacher side. I click live. I'm going to click create game. And this is where I can, it used to only be teams, but now it says teams and individuals. All right, so this is where, since I can't use this, even if I'm in class, I really can't have my kids sitting close together to play. Ideally, before social distancing, this game would be played in groups of 3 or 4, and the kids would get together. And what's great about this game is the kids work together in teams, and how it works is that they each get a definition. There's one definition for the team, and then they each get 4 answers, but the correct answer is only on one student's screen. But because we can't really work in teams right now, they have created individuals. Students compete against each other individually. So that's what we are going to play right now. So I'm going to click on that, and then I want to see the quote, and you have to guess the movie. That's what I want to pick. All right, so you are going to go to Quizlet.live, so go ahead and open up a new tab, and you guys go to Quizlet.live and put in this code. So everyone can go ahead and do that. Go click on a new tab, go to Quizlet, Quizlet.live, and you're going to put in, where did it go? It's back here. This code, 554279. And put in your name. And one thing that it does have that is nice is if a kid puts in an inappropriate name, you can click on them and it takes them out. But I'm not going to do that to any of you guys. All right, I'll wait another second. And it looks like we've got everybody in. And I will, and I'm not sure how to say your first name, but I'll talk about how, you can't really embed the link, but I'll talk about that afterwards. All right, so go ahead and I'm going to start the game now. So I'm going to create the game. So as soon as it should go, then as soon as you're ready, you just click create. There it goes. All right, so each of you is your own team, so you can see what your team name is, and then I'm going to click start. They got lots of different animals there. All right, start. The one thing that's hard with so many people is you can't see the whole screen at once. Usually you try to kind of narrate, but I've got something. It looks like the unicorn's doing pretty well. And bears. Oh, we've got ostriches. Mustangs.
Hey, Michelle.
The music is drowning me out, so I couldn't stop the music. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could show with those stats, you can turn the music off. So maybe on the next one, we could turn the music off. So maybe that's a good learning thing, because in a classroom, the music, you can really turn the music down, but I couldn't turn the music down while I was talking. So there is an option to turn the music off. So that's something that you might want to do when we're doing it remotely. So I can go back and look and see, Kelsey, I'm not sure how you placed. We could go back and look. But so you can show those stats, you can show the students what they got wrong and what a lot of them, what we need to study. So that is a really great way to have them review. Now, one of the things that you have to make sure that you do is that you can make sure that they study these things first. This isn't something that you would want to do just right off the top of the bat, where just, okay, here's some vocabulary words, go have a game on it. But you can take these Quizlet isn't just for the game. You can have them study the flashcards, and you can have them, there's all of these different ways that they can study through Quizlet. So someone asked, how can I embed the game into Canvas? You can't embed the actual game into Canvas because, so I'm going to, hold on one second, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody here. All right, am I still, now did I mute myself? Where did mine? Okay, am I muted? No, I'm not.
You're good.
So you would want to make sure that they have studied these before you play the game, because if you just go ahead and play the game, they're not going to do well. So you want to have them study. You can't embed the game itself into Canvas. You can embed the list into Canvas though. So let me go back into, I'm just going to use this page as an editing page, for example. If I wanted to put my list, if I wanted you to study this list before we played the game, there is a link here. If I'm in the flashcards. Oh, I don't want to be in flashcards. It's really slow today. So I can click on these three. There is an embed code, so you can embed them right in there, but you can also just share. So if I click on share, this just gives me a link. I can copy this link, and I can just paste the list in here. So I could paste this list in here, and I could link that. And then that's going to link straight to that list so that my kids have those cards to study. So you can study those cards right there. So have them study the list first, and then later have them go and play the game. But if you just study the game right away, they're not gonna. If you just play the game right away, you know, the kids aren't gonna know the answers. So there's lots of, I mean, you can go into Quizlet and you can search anything. So if you are studying, let's say like, I don't know, cell theory. If I search cell theory, I don't know why I'd be getting, so there's cell, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lists on that. There's just about, if you search The Outsiders, I know that's a book that a lot of people read in middle school. There's tons of them in there. And so, and this again is a free, there's a free and a paid. I had a paid account for a year. I don't see any reason to have a paid account. So, I mean, there's a few, you can add your kids to a list and do some, and find out some more things, but there's not really, especially since we have Canvas and we can add the links to Canvas, I don't really see any reason to have a paid account. There's not really any reason to do that. So, does anyone have any questions about Quizlet before we go on?
Michelle, the only other question was if there were alternative flashcard sites that might be comparable or better, but I think this one's pretty good.
Alternative what?
Flashcard sites that might be better, but I think this one's good.
I've heard Pear Deck is kind of like that, but I've never used it, but this is the one that I know.
Thanks, that's it.
I think I closed it, so I don't know if I can look it back. I can't tell you who won. I think I closed it too quick. I'm sorry. And actually, that's because I don't have a paid account. Yeah, Pear Deck works with Google Slides, so I don't know about the flashcard, alternative flashcard sites. I've been using this. I actually stumbled upon this when my son was in 7th grade, and I've just used it all the time since then. Zechariah, I'm not sure. You don't just copy and paste the link for the students. You have to be live. You have to, so when I go to the Quizlet, when I'm here, so when you just pick whatever. So if I wanted to play, let's say this is the list I want to play the game with. I'm going to play this list. I'm in this list as a teacher, and I have to click the live button. Once I click the live button, then it generates that code. And I choose that I want to play individuals or teams. I'm going to click, and then I want that. And then I click Let's Play. Then it generates that code. It's only going to, that code's going to change every single time. Just like all the other games that you play with codes, like that other one, I forget the name right now because I'm exhausted. I forget the name, but any of the games that you play with codes, it generates that code right away. So you can't really put the code into Canvas because every time you play a new game, it's going to generate a new code. So when you can put the link to Quizlet.live into Canvas, but every time you play the game, it's going to make a new code. Right, so you would, just like I'm doing now, you would be live with your kids and say, go to the website and put in this code. Alrighty, so our next game, if we go back to here, our next game I'm back on our Canvas course. The next game that we're going to look at is called, so this is the Quizlet Live. I skipped over a little bit, sorry. This is the Quizlet Live page. So again, this is going to tell you how to, it's got a little cheat sheet. This is a video of how the kids play in groups. There's a lot of really neat ways that you can play this too. Some different ways that I've seen some classrooms play, like in different groups, but you know, with the social distancing, it's going to be a little bit harder to do that. But you know, once social distancing is over, hopefully sometime soon, there's some really great interactive ways that you can play in groups with kids. So, and here's some articles about that. All right. All right, next one. This next game that we're going to play is really, really cool. It's similar to Quizlet Live, but it's called Gimkit. And Gimkit is gimkit.com, and I'll give you guys that in just a second. We've got some competitive people here. All right, so I'm going to show you, I'm just going to demonstrate with multiplication facts. And this is what we suggest that you do with your students with this game, because there's definitely some strategy to playing this game. So I'm going to just show you with some basic multiplication facts, and this is how you can do this with your kids too. Just pick a game, and if I go over here to this preview button on the left side, I can click on preview, and this is what you're going to see on your screen. This is what it looks like. So it's an individual game. You do not play in groups, and you it'll show you the problem and then, or the question. It not necessarily math. It's going to show you the question, and then you click the answer. Then you get a choice to shop or continue. So I'm just going to click continue, and I have to get at least, see, my amount of money goes up, and that's what kids love, money. So you're going to earn money every time you get a question right. And once I get to once I get to at least $10, I can click shop. And these are called power-ups. And every time I earn enough money, I can increase my money per question. I can get a streak bonus, I can get a multiplier, or I can buy insurance. I can also, there's all these different, everything costs a different amount of money. So I can change my colors. There's Thanos mode. There's all these different things. So I want to, on this, increase my money per question. So I can, for $10, my money per question is going to go up to $5. And a lot of kids don't understand, oh, I don't want to spend my $10, but once I spend my $10, every question I get is worth $5. So I'm going to buy that. I'm down to $3, but then you can see how quickly I go back up. So there's a little bit of a learning curve to this game. So that's why we suggest the first time you play it, you play with something that you don't really have to think about too much for the kids. Something like addition, younger kids, addition facts, older kids, some multiplication facts that they can just, you know, not have to think too much about. I'll do one more and so now I'm going to shop again, and this time I want to get a streak bonus so that every time I get 3 in a row, I get. So now, I don't want to shop, sorry. So if I didn't want to shop, I can just go back here to questions. So I'm going to go $28. So now look, every time I'm getting $25. So my money's now going up much faster. All right, so you get the idea. So every time you get a question right, when you get enough, shop and you buy some multipliers. And the kids that get that faster. There's also some really cool, especially for your older kids, there's some really cool things where they can freeze other kids and they can take money away from other kids and they can do all of those fun things. So what we are going to play, you guys are going to play, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? So I hope. So we're going to play that live, and they do now have this thing where you can assign it for homework. So there are assignments and ways that you can assign it for homework. So I'm going to click play live, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And what that does, and I'm going to show you the options that you can choose. So this is classic, and this you can play in team mode too if you wanted to have your kids play in teams. So you're going to play classic. You can choose to do time, and it gives you up to 10 minutes. You can race, where the first one to reach $1 million, or you can set the amount of money, or you can do all in, where you're going to play till the class gets $20 million. We're going to play for time, and I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. So you guys are going to play this for 3 minutes. You can give them starting cash. A lot of the younger kids really like this because then they're at least starting with some money. You can also do the handicap where they won't be able to go below a certain amount, because you can even make this so they can't go negative, because especially some of the younger kids get really upset when they get negative money. So you can make it where you can't go below $0. You can turn the music off. I'm going to do that because the music drives me nuts. Or you can leave it. I'll leave it on for you guys, but you know, whatever you want to do. If you want, sometimes, especially in the classroom, you don't want the music. The answer check is really nice because it tells them the right answer, and it keeps repeating over the right answers. So they're getting that repetition where if they get the answer wrong, they're going to see the right answer. And then if you're playing for 5 or 10 minutes, they're going to go through that answer over and over and over again. Clapping is they just clap at the end. Join in late. So if you have a kid that comes in late, can they still join? Yes or no? The power-ups and the themes are on, and this is clean power-ups only. It defaults to off, but turn on for kids that if you don't want the ones where they can turn off and steal from each other. So some of the younger kids don't like to be able to steal, you know, they get upset when people steal things from them. So you can decide, but I think you guys will probably want to do that. So you've got 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue. So this is just the same thing. Go to gimkit.com/play and enter this code. And then we'll see who can make as much money in 3 minutes. And we've got, and Todd, I think that was Todd Holden, right? Was our last winner. I got to write these down because we've got some Chick-fil-A cards in the mail for you. And our top 3 winners from this, Chick-fil-A is on the line. I still have to send out the ones from the summer.
Hey, Michelle, before
Yeah.
you guys start, there was a question in the chat that addresses a feature that is newer than the last time I played. It says for the assign for homework, that would work with putting the link into Canvas so we do not have to play live, correct?
Yes. Correct. Yeah, that is new. And new since the summer. When I logged in to do for this training, they gave me a free 30-day trial of the upgraded version. So you might want to wait to join until just before school starts, because then you get the 30-day trial for a whole month. So, alrighty, it looks like I'm going to give you got 35, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. But remember, I left that start late on there, so that's okay. If somebody's not on, you can still join. You just won't have as much time. All right, go ahead and get started. Have some winners. All right, Lisa, Zach, and Barb. Lisa, Barb, and Zach are our winners. So good job. I'm writing these down because I want to make sure that, and that's, is that Barb Kostick? And Lisa Presti, I think. All right. Sorry, Kelsey, I did not make this one up. This actually was created by one of our previous digital integration specialists, Amanda. So sorry, there weren't English questions. So this can be a lot of fun. And there are, again, with this, and one of the things that's really nice is you can click the View Report button. And with the View Report button, it will tell you, and I'm not going to show this to show you the percentages, but if you wanted to take this as a grade, you could get the student overview, you could get the general overview, give you the collective balance of the class, the questions. You guys, in that short amount of time, you answered 558 questions with an accuracy of 68%. And the question breakdown. It'll show you, the percentage of the questions that you guys got correct. So it'll show us what questions we really need to go over. Only one person got the Father of the Constitution right, so that's something we should probably go over. And so this can give you some really good data on what you need to study, go over in your class. So one of the things that's really nice is you can search for kits here. So I'm just going to, what is something that, I'll do that cell theory again, or cells. So here, one thing that I have found is that their search is not great. They don't really have a wonderful search. So, but if you can get creative, we have, if you type in SDIRC, we have a few that we have made. Like this is the 8th grade FSA science words, and we have the 5th grade reading vocabulary. We've got 5th grade science words. They do have an import from Quizlet, which is really, really nice. So if you have a Quizlet list that you like, you can import it from Quizlet. So if you have a Quizlet list that you like, you can import it into Gimkit. So that's a really, really, really nice tool. So there is a search. The one thing that amazes me is a 17-year-old kid created this. He actually is now just 19. He created it as a school project because he was tired of Kahoot. So he made this, and it just keeps getting better. Like 4 people work for this company. So he did create it though, so that you can only have 5 in the free version. So there are 5, they call them kits. In Quizlet, they call them lists, whatever you want to call them. There's 5 kits that you can have in the free version. They did just give you the 30-day upgrade for free. It's not terribly expensive. It was, I'm not really sure. If it's still $60 a year, but if you really like it, it's $60 a year, which I think can be paid for with your lead money. I'm not 100% sure on that, but so it's not terribly expensive if it's something that you like, and then if you pay for it, it's unlimited. But if you find things that you are not yours, you can still play them. You just cannot get the reports. So if I find something like I just did that cells one, so if I like this one, I can play it, so I can click play. After I play it, I can't get the results from it. So I can't use it. Oh, they rejected it. They rejected the lead request. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that time. You can have your kids play it. You just cannot get any of the reports. So it's still worth playing. It's still worth having your kids practice. You just can't use it as a grade or anything like that. So, sorry. So there's all of those. You can look and you can find. And he's actually created one. Here you go, Kelsey. The same kid created a new thing on writing. I haven't looked at it yet, but he created something called Ink on Writing. So that might be something you want to look at. Haven't looked at it yet myself, but. So, does anyone have any questions on Gimkit before we go on?
I think they just want to play this, Michelle.
I know, it is really, really fun, but if we just play this, if we just play it, then we're not going to get on to the other ones. Okay? Any other questions? All right, so if we go back to our Canvas course, we click on next. I forgot what's next. Wiser. So again, here is the Gimkit page. Here is a video about it. They do have a guide to remote learning. So there is, if you click here on their guide to remote learning, it just tells you what they've done for remote learning. And just a little story about the kid that invented it. I always say I can't even get my high school kid out of bed, and here this kid's like a millionaire creating this stuff. And so here is some information about it. That's the website, and then a video about it. It's very simple to create them, and it's really easy to import from Quizlet. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is Wiser. Wiser is a worksheet maker program. This is really elementary friendly. So those of you that are teaching elementary, some of you I saw said not really great for kindergarten yet. This one is really, really elementary friendly. So this one you guys cannot actually do. I have to just show it to you, because if you sign in as a student, you can't then sign up as a teacher. We ran into that problem a couple of years ago where I had teachers sign in as students to take the worksheet, and then they ended up being signed in as students and not teachers. So this one I actually have to just show you, and you guys can't do it. So I just made a worksheet that tries to show the types of questions that you can do. So here is what a Wiser worksheet looks like. And you can embed it into Canvas. I'll show you that in a second. You can do it. It just embeds, it comes with an embed code and embeds right in. For some reason today, the kids can sign in with Microsoft. They just would have to click sign in with Microsoft and then OK. For some reason, the embedded worksheet cannot log in today. I have called, sent in a thing to Wiser, and it said they're not back till Sunday. I don't know why the login will not work, and the embedded, it does. I've seen it work, but today it's not working, of course, because I'm trying to teach it today. But here's what it looks like. So you can make it all these pretty backgrounds and, make all these pretty fonts and all that kind of stuff. And so here are the basic types of questions they have. They have simple multiple choice questions, but for your little ones, and that's one of the things that we heard over and over about Canvas, is that it wasn't really primary friendly. Well, this is much more primary. So what color is the sky? Blue. And here, this is just a fill in the blank. And this, again, with the fill in the blank though, you have to spell it right. So here, label the parts of the car. One of the nice things is you could put in your voice for directions.
Label the parts of the car.
So for your little ones, if you have to, then you could speak your directions. So then for this is really nice for like science or social studies. If you have to you just pick a picture and they click on it and then just type it in. So if you're like labeling the parts of a cell or parts of anatomy or something like that, that's really cool. So this is a windshield. And I know I've answered it because it's not blinking anymore. And if I click on it again, it shows, oh, I didn't spell mirror right. It shows that what I answered. All right, now this is like I can just drag and drop them. Oh, no, I don't drag them. I click on it and I get to click on what it is. So read is a verb, dog is a noun, green, I'm gonna say it's a pronoun so that I can show you that I can just exit out again. I didn't mean to do that, nope. I click on it and it puts it back up there. It's really an adjective, jump is a verb, boy, noun, I'm going to get them wrong so that I can show you that they got wrong. Now is a pronoun. She is a pronoun. All right, so these can, there's just lots of different ways. So this is like, you know, matching. So they just draw from one line to the next, and then I can just, and this one, answer recorder, optional. If you had, this is a great ESC accommodation or whatever accommodation, they could just click on here and record their voice. Thank you, Kelsey. So they could record their answer if you wanted to. That's optional. So they could either type it, or if they can't type it, they can record it. And then here they could draw a picture. Here's my cat. Such a beautiful artist that I am. All right, so then when I'm done, I can save it if I want to continue, or then I can come back to it later. So if you get halfway through a class and you're not done, you can save it. Now I'm done. I'm going to click Hand in Work, and I'm going to, are you sure you would you like to submit your solution? Yes, submit. And I must have done something wrong. I don't know why that's saying it's wrong. I marked it wrong. I set it up wrong. But it's going to show me when I got them correct. This shows the time that I have to go, that the teacher has to go back and check those. So it shows me my answers right away, even though in mine, I must have set that answer wrong. But so that is one of the things that you can do. So this is all of the things that you can do and in Wiser. So on the teacher side, I have it open here somewhere. Where'd it go? There we go. And again, they have some that you just go into worksheets and you can just, and the nice thing is you can create folders and share them with each other. So you can do all sorts of things and you can find community, just like in all of the other things, like Canvas Commons, like in all of the other games where you can find other people's stuff. You can find one that somebody else has made, and then you can, here's a genetics review. All right, so here we go. Let's say I like that. I click on it. And then I click copy. And then now it has been added to my worksheets. So I go to my worksheets and I scroll down and there's the genetics worksheet. So I'm on my worksheets now. Here's my genetics review. And it's going to come up and it's going to say copy because I copied it. And all I would have to do is go in there and take out the word copy. So I don't always have to start from scratch. Like this other person spent all this time on it and now I'm just copying it. Look, they did all that matching. They did all that kind of stuff. There we go. And then all I have to do is put it in my Canvas and I'm done. So there's some really cool things, but you can see all the different cover images. Like they're just really cute. They're really fun things. You can add them in and all that stuff is there. So, and it's not, I've heard from a lot of teachers, especially in math, this can be very math friendly. A lot of, like some people have said Canvas isn't really math friendly. You can do much more math stuff in here that they can be much more math friendly. They can type in their answers a lot easier in here. So that's one great thing about that. You just can create a class, assign it to your learners. It's very simple. They can label anything they want. All you have to do, Yvonne, is upload a picture of anything. It's just a graphic, and then you upload that graphic and you decide what they label. So, and then if you want to just create your own worksheet, you would go back to the dashboard and you just click create worksheet, and that one you just start from scratch. So
Hey, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there was another question about the kids logging in. I'm sorry if I missed this, but it's been a while since I used this. You can just create your classroom, right? And they join with a code?
They join with a code, yes. So you create a classroom. As far as signing in, all the kids have to do is sign in with Microsoft. So that's all they have to do is sign in with Microsoft and then click OK. And that's it. So but they do have to join your classroom. So when you go, let me go back to, here's my learners. Let me go back. I think they may have changed. This is one of the problems with the free version. Let me go back to my learners. I think now with the free version, you may only have one class. So when I click add a class, you have to have the premium version to have. Wiser free plan includes one class. So you would have to have the paid class to have more than one class. So if you are a middle school teacher and you want to have a period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, you're going to have the paid version. Or you could put them all into one class. I don't know. I haven't looked up, Caitlin, how many. But all you do is when I'm in this class, this is my back to school class, I'm going to go into this class. Wait. Click on a class name to find out. Okay. Go away. I have this class. Save it. Why is it doing that? There we go. All right, so I would give the kids this code. So you're going to have to give the kids the code, the class code. You give them the code. When they log in, so I'm going to have to go into a new incognito window. I'm already logged in. Oh, no. They're going to click log in. They'll again click connect with Microsoft. I can't do it because it's going to log in with my Microsoft. They would click connect with Microsoft, and then it's going to ask them for a code. You give them that code, they type in that code, and then they'll be in your class. And then once they're in your class, it's going to come up, you have to check them. There's also this invitation link. That's probably the easier way to do it. See where it says copy an invitation link? You could copy this invitation link and put that link in their Canvas. And then that Canvas, they just click on that and they would get right in there. And then it would say log in with your Microsoft, and you can click log in with the Microsoft. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. It's just log in with copy an invitation link. Just copy that. Paste that in your Microsoft, in your Canvas where it says, and you just write, like type, click here to join Wiser, and then that goes right in. That's easier. That's the easiest way to do it. And then you have to, it's going to come in here and you have to check that they're in there. So that's got to be the best way, because it is case sensitive, and especially the younger your kids are, you got to do like the lowercase and uppercase and all that. That's a big mess. So just copy that link. All right. Any more questions on Wiser? Because we've got 2 more to go. Oh, we've got an hour, so we're good.
We're good. They're not in the chat.
All right. So Padlet is our next one that we're going to look at. And Padlet, any of you guys that have been in many of our trainings, you've seen Padlet probably. Padlet is like a big open bulletin board that you can put ideas on. So we're going to start by doing a Padlet, and then again we'll look at the teacher side. So here we go with the next Padlet, and here is, and it's really kind of an early exit ticket, but still. So these are this Padlet, and if you've been following along, you can just click next, or if one of you guys can stick this Padlet in the chat, the Padlet link. Which tools of these tools today that we've looked at can you see yourself using in your classroom and how? All you have to do is click on the plus sign, and then this will come up and you just type in there. And so tell me which tools that we've used so far today can you see using in your classroom and how? Go ahead and do that now. I will grab the link. You can go into, it is in the Canvas right now. So if you go into our Canvas and just click next, you'll see it in there, but I will also go ahead and add it to the chat. It's in Canvas and it is in the chat. All right, looks like a lot of people, you guys have a lot of difference. And I saw someone say none, that they'd be too hard for ESE students. A lot of them could definitely be used for ESE students if you use them in a certain way. You know, they're like Quizlet. There's a lot of ways that Quizlet could be used. Maybe not the live version, but there's a lot of ways that Quizlet could be used for ESE students. And the same thing with Gimkit. I think that, you know, on a certain level, they could be. Could each student create an individual Padlet like a timeline, or can it only be used as a class-wide? Todd, if they each created their own account, they certainly could use their own timeline. They would have to create their own account, though. Yeah, matching and gravity are awesome, Candace. The district isn't buying anything, Robert. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. So now there's Padlet is, like we said, there's a paid and a not paid version, but this is what you see from the teacher's side. And Padlet has a, nope, that's Mentimeter. Here's Padlet. So Padlet, once you join Padlet, this is what it looks like, and you get make a Padlet or join a Padlet or the gallery. So when you make one, you can just click on the plus, and these are the different types of Padlets. So Todd just asked, can they make a timeline? So this is a good way to make a timeline. And could each student make a timeline? Sure, but they would each have to have their own accounts. So, and that's where you run into, are they 13 or over? And do you have parent permission and all of that sort of thing? If you have that, go ahead and have your kids make accounts. That's up to you. But there's a timeline. I just used this one that we made as a wall. That's just a blank wall. You can have it be a canvas with arrows that touch. You can show almost like a flow chart, how things connect. You can have a stream where it just goes in a straight line. You could have a shelf where they're in a series of columns. So you can have almost like a KWL chart. This is what we know, this is what we want to know, this is what we're going to learn, and you can go back to it. Arrange a grid, can go in rows and boxes. So there's a lot of different types of grids that you can create. So you can start with a blank. You've got all these different, a back channel, communicate like a chat environment. So you can make it look like it's a chat, like a text chat. A map, you can add contents to points on a map. So if you're a social studies, a history teacher, this could be really cool. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. So if I decide I just want it to be like an exit ticket, or, what did you learn today? Or what questions do you still have for me? This is a nice anonymous way for kids to ask questions if you want it to be anonymous. So I'm going to click select. And it always comes up with some strange name, my radiant, my awesome, whatever, but you can change it. So I'm going to say, what questions do you still have? And then you can put a small description underneath it, or you can leave that blank. That's up to you. So you can change the icons. This gives you the website address. You can change the wallpaper. You can upload the wallpaper if you want to have your own. You can put pictures, textures, patterns, all sorts of different things. So I'm just going to make it I like the sunset. That's kind of pretty. So you can do that. So that's the wallpaper. Color schemes, you can do light or dark. You can change the fonts if you want. If you have kids, like little kids, you can do like the little Comic Sans font, however you want to do that. This is an interesting one, do you want the author's name above each post? So if you don't want this to be anonymous and you want them to put their names on there, you can turn that on. I want to leave it anonymous because I want my kids to ask questions. But again, do you trust your kids? You have to know your kids. New post position, where does each new position go? Is it first or is it last? Your choice. Comments. Do I allow viewers to comment on the post? So do I want people to be able to comment underneath it? That's up to you. Do I want reactions? If I want reactions, do I want them to be able to like the posts? Do I want them to say thumbs up, thumbs down, stars, or grade them? So maybe I just want to have likes so people can like the post there. Why did that not? Oh, because I didn't turn it on. That's weird. Like posts. Went from none to like. Okay. That's weird. Oh, it says like. Okay. It's just not yellow. All right. Content filtering. Do I want to require approval? So this is something good. If, again, do you trust your students? Do you trust them to be able to be mature enough to not put silly and stupid things up there? So if right now, I trusted you guys as adults to just be able to put it up there. But if you don't trust your students, you can put filter required, and then I'm going to have to read them before they go up on the post. So that's up to you. If you think your kids are going to be silly and put dumb things up there, then you're going to require approval before you go up. And you would go into the teacher side and say, yes, 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 no, that one can't go up. Yes, that one can go up. And then there's also a filter profanity. So I can click on that, replace bad words with nice emojis. So if they put bad words up there, they're just silly little emojis. All right. So then I'm going to click next. So I'm not going to require approval on this. I click next, and then you're all set. Start posting. So that's how I do that one. I've now created it. Now I can just put a link to it. And again, those of you guys that were in our rich context editor, when I click share, here is where I can get the link here, or here's that embed code. So I click here on embed. Here is that whole big copy. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my Canvas page. I would click edit. I'm going to click on HTML, and then I would click paste. I'm not going to paste it because I don't want to replace the one I've got, but I would click down here. I could do it below it actually. So I'm going to go below this one, and I'm going to click paste. And then I would click save. And now I'm going to have 2 Padlets in here. So here's the one I did before, and here's the new one I did right here. So now I just put that new one in there by just grabbing that embed code, clicking on HTML, and pasting it in there. So here is that new one. All right. So Padlet can be used in a lot of different ways. This is a great one that we can use with a million different ways. Do we have any questions about Padlet? All right, now this is the big one. I'm glad we still have a lot of time left because this Flipgrid is one that I think a lot of you guys will be able to use really early on in the year, especially those transitional. Flipgrid is an amazing app that used to be where it was the free and the full version, but I have some great news. About a year ago, Microsoft bought out Flipgrid. So since we are Microsoft customers, we have the full version. So there is not a lower version and a free version for us. We have the full free version. I mean, the full version paid for. So that's one thing. Yay, we have the full version. So, and there have been a ton of upgrades. I mean, since I did this training a month ago, it's completely different. I logged in yesterday and I was like, whoa, they've changed everything. So Flipgrid is where you ask a question and the children, students, can record a video answer. So they have even changed, they don't call their grids anymore, they're called groups. So even, I didn't change it though, I said, my thing says Flipgrid grid, it's not a grid, it's a group now. So you can go on, and I am going to show you as a student, which right here. So this is what Flipgrid looks like, and they do have remote learning. I just want to point that out before I forget. Last thing on the bottom, because I added it this morning, is click here for remote learning ideas. So there is a whole section on remote learning ideas and how to use Flipgrid. So here I'm going to click next. Here is our Flipgrid grid for today. So you would join in with Microsoft. So you just click join with Microsoft. Wait, and next. And that's as easy as it is for the kids. That's all they've got to do. And your question is, what applications have you learned today, including Flipgrid, do you think will be beneficial in your classroom in the coming school year, and explain why? So it's kind of the same answer as before, but I have to turn my camera off here because you can't use your camera in 2 places. So, and it used to be a big green plus. It's not a big green plus anymore. It's a thing that says record a response. So now you're going to click record a response. And that's a little bit different too. It's got a little recording button, and you've got effects, and you've got, I can't even read what that says. So if you guys can't read it, if I can't read it, you definitely can't read it. So I'm going to zoom this in. All right. So it says effects and options. So let's look at what those are. You've got options, you've got upload a clip, mirror video, mirror, which means some people were getting things backwards, audio, and then record your screen. So as a teacher, record your screen is really nice because that's just a new recording screen option. And then effects, they've got filters. So, oh, they've got some different new filters. Oh, they got a Lego filter. That's pretty cool. That's new. So you can do all these different, of course they don't have the filter that says I'm 20 anymore, but no, Old Town filter. And then they've got, this is what's really nice for kids that, you know, a lot of kids really want to be on video, but some of them don't. So if they really don't want to do a video, you can click emoji, and then they can just, you can do people. Here we go, I can just do this, and then here's my face. So my face is not on the screen, so I can still do the assignment, but my face is not there. So I can record my voice, I can do whatever my assignment is, but my face is not there. So here is my whole grid. The only thing that it kind of blocks out this, if I forgot the topic, I can click here on show topic, and it's going to show me again what my question was. I can click on that again and it goes away. If I click here, I can click add sticky note, and I can write myself some notes that is going to remind me what I need to say so that I can look at the camera instead of looking down at a paper. So I can say, I liked Gimkit, and I can't type. Why can't I type? Gimkit and Padlet. Okay, so then I'm going to record my video. So I just click record. I really liked Gimkit because I think the kids really will like the money, and Padlet's really cool too because I like that for exit tickets. So I would review that. I really liked Gimkit. I'm not going to list it. And then I have to take a selfie, and again, I can do the effects. I'm going to give myself the sunset filter. There we go. That's a terrible picture, but whatever. And there we go. And I submit it. So it's as simple as that. The videos get uploaded, and I click complete. And now when we go down, here's my response. All right. So I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes to go record a response. I saw that Sally put that in there. I'll check on that. Some of the things, I'm looking in the chat, the remote learning link isn't there. Does it say 2020 Flipgrid on the top?
Hold on, I just noticed that it didn't. Yeah, it does.
Huh, okay, I'll look in a second. So I'll make sure it gets there if it's not there right now, but just go ahead and record the response. So if you don't have a camera and a microphone, you can't record a response, so just hang out for a minute. If yours does not say 2020, then it linked to the wrong page. So that's the problem. I tried.
It says 2020.
Okay. So I'll fix that. I'm going to have to fix it in the other thing. So if you don't have a mic and a camera, then you can't record a video, so don't worry about it right now. So I'll give you 3 minutes to record a video. If not, you get a 3-minute break. right, guys, give you about 1 more minute. Sue Ridlin, I see your hand up. Do you have a question or is that an accident? Cheryl Campbell, the options for the filter are on the right side when you click the record a response. Right on the right side it says effects, and then you've got filters. And there's one more thing I do want to show you guys too in a second. Cheryl Campbell, your hand is up. Do you have a question? Okay, no.
Yes, this is Cheryl. Mine doesn't have effects on the next to the recording.
I can't really hear you.
Mine doesn't show the effects next to the recording symbol. I have nothing there.
She said she doesn't have the effects, Michelle.
It's not to the right side right here.
No, I have nothing.
That could be something with the computer that you're on. I'm not really sure.
I'm on a school laptop.
That should, try going, if you just click, let me put the, that is embedded in there, but if you go to the, I can give you the code. No, once you embed it in, I don't think you can take it out of there. That I'd have to check on. I'm not sure. It's supposed to just be there. So if you don't have that there when you click record, that could be something. Are you on a school computer?
Yes.
I'd have to check into that because I've never seen that happen before where the effects isn't there. So it could be that it's something with the graphics card or something. I'm not really sure.
Hi, thank you.
I couldn't hear. I don't know why I can't hear your, turn my volume up. All right, so one thing that I do want to show you too that is really, really cool for you math teachers, or really anybody, but another thing that you can do with that effects button, if there is also a board. So if you click on board, that's actually very new that they have. Last week it was just, I just found this out. There's a dot grid and a graph and a notebook and a whiteboard. This last week it was seriously just black and white. Now they have all this cool stuff. So you've got a blackboard or a whiteboard, or then all this. This is even more amazing for math teachers, a dot and a graph board. So you can have students, you can give them a math problem and you can tell them that they have to solve the math problem, and then click on the whiteboard and they can use what they can record then for their answer is they can use their pen, which is not working with my thing right now, of course, but they can draw. They can draw. If you ask them how to solve a problem, let me erase that. That was not very good. Undo that. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Would work much better on a touchscreen, but this is an amazing way to ask students to show how to solve a math problem or to demonstrate something or something like that. So you can do that, and it's even recording my talking. So if you want to hear their reasoning as to why they're solving the math problem, they can explain to you how they do that. So there's drawing. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to cancel it. Yep. So I'm going to stop. Wait. Yes, I'm sure I want to delete it. I forgot to click confirm. So I want to I'm going to go with the effects again, and I can go on this board, and then here I've got this dot grid. I really just need to redo this whole thing, but you've got the idea. If I do the dot grid on here, now you can see that I can use my drawing again. If I go into my effects and I draw, and I can like show, probably on the screen it's hard to see that there's dots there, but I could connect the dots, or I could show a graphing, or I could show any of those things through here. So this is an amazing math tool. So I'm just going to completely get out of this. So that is a really great tool for that. So the blackboard and the whiteboard for any subject, but it's really, really great for math. All right, so as far as the educator side, so again, when you go into Flipgrid, you just log in with Microsoft. It says I should actually probably get all the way out. When I go to flipgrid.com, you're going to go to educator sign up, and then just log in with, I'm already in there, it won't let me do it, but you just click login with Microsoft, it'll let you log in with Microsoft. We're there. Something that has changed, they used to call them grids, now they call them groups. If you are an elementary school teacher, I would just do one group, and then you put all of your questions under there. If you are a middle school teacher, or a high school teacher, a secondary teacher, you should probably have a group for each period. So you would have first period, second period, third period, fourth period. So Mrs. Adrian's first period, Mrs. Adrian's second period, language arts, third period, language arts, those things. That would be your groups. And then your topics, see right now I just have one group, and then I would have topics within those groups. So now I'm going to my topics. Inside my group, I have 9 groups here. This back to school group I have. Now here are the topics that I have. I have the Rock the Classroom topic. That's the question that I have. So now I would add a topic. I put in my title. So whatever the question, the title of the question I would want to ask you. So if it was the beginning of, this is a great way maybe at the beginning to get to know your students if you're a transitional teacher. Tell me about yourself. So, and this is your prompt. You have up to 1,000 characters. This is where you would want to really give very complete directions on how you would want your students to answer. So, you know, explicit directions, I'm just going to say. Notice there's a link button here. If I wanted to link something from the internet, I could do that. If my older students, if I want them to go watch a video or something and then come back and answer it, I could do that. Recording time. You go anywhere from 15 seconds to 10 minutes. So that's the max time. It used to be 5 minutes, but they've moved it up to 10 minutes since distance learning has started in March. So I'm going to say 5 minutes. That doesn't mean they have to fill 5 minutes. It means they get cut off at 5 minutes. So if you want to give it as long as you want, that's up to you. Video moderation. This is where you decide if you have to check it before it goes where everybody else can see it. Again, if you trust your students, you can leave that off. It defaults to off, but if you have middle or high school students and you don't know what they're going to say, you might want to turn that on. So that means you have to approve it before it goes up for everybody else to see. This is where I could record a video. This might be where you want to record a video that's going to give the directions, and you can give very, very explicit directions or an example of what you expect to see. You could upload a video or put a YouTube or a video, Vimeo video. Maybe it's something in language arts or science. I want you to watch this video and then respond to it. You could upload an image. You can put all of these different things in here. So all of these apps can work within Flipgrid. So access control, set custom topic access if you want it different than what you created before. So here is where we have more options. You probably always want to check that to make sure your options are what you want. You can add attachments. So again, if you want put a PDF file that you want them to read and respond to, you can do that. You can change your topic status. You can close it out at a certain time. Your topic features. Do you want to receive email notifications when new videos? I would change this to never, because otherwise every time someone puts a video on, you're going to get an email. So you probably don't want to get an email every time somebody submits a video, or if you do, that's up to you. Do you want the videos to be able to be downloaded and shared? You probably don't want that, so I would turn that off. Can they add stuff to their selfies? The kids love that. There's like little stickers and things that they can add to their selfies. Do you want them to be able to add that to their selfies, their videos, or nothing? You can leave that on. Can they edit and rearrange their clips? That's a good idea to leave on. View count. Likes. This way they can like each other's videos. So yes, you can turn that on. I don't know why that defaults to off. Sticky notes, that's a good thing to have. Basic feedback. You can, and this is the feedback that you're going to give. So, and then you can also, this is save changes to my default settings. So once you've done this, you can save this, and then all of your future videos are going to be will have these settings. So that's up to you. If you want, once you get your settings set, you can click that, and then I'm going to create this topic. And then here is that Flipgrid. This is a link. So if you just want to put the link, then you can click copy. There's that embed code right there. So you can do that embed code, all of that. So whether you want to just put a link in your Canvas, or you can embed it using that embed code right in your Canvas. All right. So that is the basic ideas of how you do that. I also just want to show you a couple of buttons within here. Discovery used to be called Disco Library. They changed it to Discovery. This is, again, lots of people have created things for you so it can take the work out for you. So 25,000 topics in Discovery that teachers have already used in their classrooms. So if you want to search by English or language arts, and your audience is middle school, and you want to search a specific, let's say The Outsiders, like I said, like we looked at before. Here are a whole bunch. This is how many topics people have already done on The Outsiders. So I can click on that, popular music and The Outsiders. I can read this and see if I like it. If I like it, I can add that topic directly into mine, and I don't have to change it. All right. So this is, again, just one of those kind of commons things within here where I can look up what we have, what people have already done.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
Before we get too much further along, I have two questions that I just want to make sure you hit. Zach wants to know if the students have to join with a username or email. Can't they just click the join with Microsoft again, or no?
Yep, they join with Microsoft. That is the way. I mean,
for like if you were creating a group, though.
No, if the group that you would create is through the link that they joined. So if you have, so if I go back to my groups, my period 1 is going to have a separate link than my period 2. So the way, if you're going to do that, let me show you how to do. So like if you're in Canvas, let me go back to, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. So if you were to do that, the way that I would, instead of embedding it into Canvas, the way that I would do that is just put the link into Canvas and say, period 1, click this link, period 2, click this link, instead of embedding it, and then it's just going to take them out. So let me, that's not what I wanted to do. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it, but I think the easiest way for middle and high school kids would be like period 1, click this link. And then I'm going to go back here, and then here's the share. Here's the link. I would just copy that link and then go back here and link it. And then I would just underneath say period 2, click this link. And then let's pretend Techie Tuesday was my second period. I would click the share link on that, copy that link, and then put period 2 right here so that they're going to the correct links. Because otherwise if you do them all in the same, you're gonna have like 100 kids in the same, they don't call them in the same group. So you wouldn't want that. And what's gonna happen then is when they click the link, I'm going to do it in incognito window so it shows what happens. I'm going to open incognito. When they click on that link, it's going to come up just like this. It's going to say like Mrs. Adrian's period 1, and then they just click join with Microsoft. They'll click join with Microsoft. It's going to come up just like this. But because I'm incognito, it's asking me to put in my email. It won't ask them to put in their email. It will come up automatically on their email. All right, does that answer that question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and then someone wanted to see how to embed it, so I will go ahead and show the embed also. So the embed, I'm just going to create a new page. Okay, so the embed code. So here this is the one I want to embed. I'm going to click on share, and here's my embed. This is the embed, the universal embed symbol. I'm going to click copy embed code. It doesn't even show me anything. That just put the embed code in the computer's brain. I'm going to go back to my canvas. I'm going to click the HTML editor because I can't click embed codes when I see all this stuff. I click HTML editor and then all those buttons are gone. So that's how I know I'm in HTML. I paste the embed code by clicking Control V. It puts all that gobbledygook stuff that we don't even understand. And then I just click save. And there it is. So the kids will see this. They just click join with Microsoft. And now, since I'm already logged in with Microsoft, see it automatically pops up my name. I click on my name. It's going to automatically put in my password, and this is what shows up. So it's that easy for the kids. And when they click the link, it will be that easy too. It's just going to open up in a new window. I had to do it in a incognito window because I wanted you to see it open up a little bit differently. But so that's what you got. All right, did that answer both of those questions?
Yep, we're good to go. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I think that pretty much covers the educator. Mixtapes are if you had like really awesome videos that you wanted to share and then you could send this to your administrator just to say, see how awesome my kids are. You could do that. Grid Pals is a way that you can connect with people all over the world. And you can just read up on that. It's just a really cool thing. So if you wanted to connect with somebody across the country or across the world, you could do that through Grid Pals. I'm not going to go over that. I just want to show you if that's something that you would be interested in, just click on learn more about Grid Pals. All right. So just again, so that you guys understand, I know we went over a lot of stuff today. I know that, and like I said, you are not supposed to go through this and be experts on any of this stuff. It was just to show you what they are, have a little bit of fun, see what these apps can do. This Back to School 2020 is going to stay in here. So if you click on this Rock the Classroom, all of these tabs are here. So if you click on any one of them, if you see, okay, I really liked Wiser, I want to do that, click on that. All of the information about that is here. So if you click on that, this takes you to the website. Here is a cheat sheet, here is a video. If you decided I really liked Flipgrid, here's the information, a Flipgrid cheat sheet. One other thing that is really cool in the Flipgrid is this ebook. Some teachers put together an ebook that can answer any possible question. It's like a 24-page PDF that start to finish tells you exactly how to do anything in Flipgrid. So this is a great resource. If there's a way that you could just put it straight into your Canvas, that's here. Some success stories, there's all that stuff here. So we know that you guys are great professionals and you can, none of these apps are very hard to figure out. We just wanted to show them to you and know that they're available here for you. Again, it's kind of that you don't know what you don't know. So all of these are here for you. And we've got about 10 more minutes for any questions if you guys have it. Sally or Carrie, can you guys throw the feedback form in there? If you guys could, please make sure you fill out that feedback form for us. That really helps us on the future of our trainings. Lets us know what you guys need, what we need to change around. And go ahead and ask us any questions that you have about any of the apps that we've gone over. And if not, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Friday. Please go home and try to not think about school, ha ha ha. And have a great weekend.